Hello, guys. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. That's right. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Everybody, welcome. It is 1 o'clock here on Eastern Coast. It is 10 o'clock a.m. on the West Coast, and it is in Czech
7
Republic,
p.m.
7 p.m. in the Czech Republic, live. That's really exciting. So, Martin and Michaela are so happy to have you here. We already have people saying, cheers, Martin and company.
Hi. Lovely.
Martin and Michaela. Michaela is Martin's assistant, and we welcome you both and thank you again for being with us.
Thank you for having
Martin
us.
and I have a relationship that is a long-distance relationship. We never met in person, and this is our first really closer encounter.
Yeah.
And we've been working for about 10 years together. So we've had the privilege to work with Martin and showcase and sell his wonderful work since about 10 years. Just so that you know, we have his exhibition on view right now until October 2nd at Snap Downtown. Don't miss it. It is spectacular. His work is not only grand scale, but it is also just incredible in the detail and in the vision and in the quality of the imagery. It's just wonderful. People see it online sometimes, and then they go to the gallery and then they are blown away, because it's one thing to see it in a digital form. It's another thing to see it in person. So we encourage you to go and see it. And of course, we encourage you to acquire some work and have it in your home. So you always can reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to help you. So with that said, Martin, of course, has won all kinds of awards worldwide. And I think for 12 years, he's had consecutive awards for the, which award was that? I'm sorry, Martin, the one that you had consecutive 12 times in a row.
It was International Photography Awards.
International Photography.
LA, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations. Thank you again for joining. So what we're going to do is we have a beautiful presentation. I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to go right into it. I'm going to share my screen. Martin, it's all yours.
Thank you. Once again, thank you so much, Patrick, for having us. It's a really privilege for me to be there with you and with you guys. So I tried to prepare a presentation about my work, about my basically life. So I was thinking how to start presentation, and I was like, okay, let's show you basically maybe my first photo. I didn't take this photo, but it's me when I was 5 years old, I think. And that's only one existing photo of me when I was younger. So basically I was born here in Czech Republic. It is the center of Europe. And honestly, we didn't have anything like art in our family. I mean, the visual art. 14 years ago, unfortunately, I lost one of my friends who died in a sea. So I tried to find balance in my life. So I remember the moment when I grabbed the camera, which was the, let's say, the tool for me at this time. So, and after, let's say, 4 years, when I was taking photos, I left a typical office job. There you can see the first day of my photographer life, I can say. Career, which was a small apartment, cheap computer, cheap display. Everything was like quite amateur, I can say. This photo is from my current studio where we are right now. So you can see a few photos, prints behind us. So it's for better perspective, better view. So you can imagine the start and the journey to nowadays. This is another photo from my studio. Basically, we are sitting right in front of those photos. So that's the same place where we are right now. This one was exactly when we were packing all photos for Art Basel in Switzerland. So it was one of the
Which
biggest
year?
experience. Sorry?
Which year? Which Art Basel?
In Switzerland 4 years ago, I think.
Okay. All right.
Quite a lot of people ask me what kind of camera I use and what are my tools. I always say the biggest tool is my mind, obviously, the heart and the mind. But yeah, there's always a camera in my hand. On the left side, there's a typical DSLR Canon, which I use right now only for scouting places. And right now I am using full format, medium format camera, which is phase 1.
Quick question on this. Did you transition from film photography to digital? Did you start with film photography?
Honestly, I have never tried analog camera.
So you immediately digital?
Yeah, digital.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
That's the way what works best for me.
Yes.
So as I will show you later. So yeah.
I think Martin is a photographer, but I think in his essence, he is an artist in the first place, and he uses camera and digital camera with the post-production because that's the kind of tools that allow him the most to put his visions into reality, because he has to have quite a broad, maintenance for creating what he sees in his mind and putting it onto the paper. So that's kind of why he, I think, chose the digital way.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have immediately knowing what's going on, so you're not waiting. It's great. So we're going into your portfolio.
These photos are one of the first. So I remember the moment 15 years ago. I grabbed my camera and just went around with it and took pictures of surroundings where I lived. So on the left, it was a huge crashed building. So I was going there and waiting for the right light, and this was the result. So the topic of my let's say first images were solitude. It was kind of moody. It was, I think, more, I can't say pessimistic, but I can say a little bit heavier than now. Still, I think there's always something like balance, hope, reconnection with myself. Because, as I told before, when I lost one of my closest friends, I was trying to find some kind of balance in my life, and somehow it worked in these kind of images. This one were taken 2 or 3 years later from the beginning. I have never tried to capture different style of photos. So, for example, architecture or animals or flowers. I don't know why, but I was always trying to capture the beauty in loneliness, if I can say that. So as you can see, the topic is still the same. Maybe I was developing my skills. So still I was going outside with my friends. Maybe that's a question from a lot of people around when they ask me, who are they? I mean, the models on the photos. So they were, and still they are, my friends, people really close to me, because that's the moment when I know them quite a lot. So it is always better to work with them. If I know their life, their experience, their, their stories, for example, it is always better for me. So all people you can see on the photos from this era, they were my friend. They are my friends. So I didn't choose from model agencies like we do right now, because we need different people and exact people for exact projects. So these people are my friends, and as you can see, it's still about solitude and tranquility and this kind of emotions.
Yeah, the picture to the right, I have to say, is a very popular picture. I know a lot of people who bought and collected it. But there's a sense of solitude in a tormented world. You know, like it's a very, very. There's a lot of energy going on, even though you have this solitude, stark in the middle. So it's really there's a lot of energy.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree. And I remember when I took this photo, I felt every single emotion that I had, I put into this one, because it's absolutely this. I can agree with the description you just said. It's about finding your inner peace in the world that we are living in, which is absolutely like a roller coaster, and so yeah. After this kind of solitude, loneliness photos, I felt like I need to find some kind of connection between two, not only human beings, but I wanted to find the symbolism in the way of connection between human and nature. So I was looking for wild animals, because for me this was the beginning of let's say some kind of sub-series in this series, which is called I Found the Silence, and it is connected more to the nature, but in a symbolic way. Because wild animals, for me, it's like something untouchable. It's something that we can't see a lot in person, but it is somehow hypnotizing for us when you can see this kind of animal. This was the beginning of my new sub-series, I Found the Silence, which was the one when I combined wild animals with humans. And it's something. It was the moment when I left my studio. I went to forests, looking for places and locations where I could take a photo in this way.
What I think is really nicely visible in the development of Martin's portfolio is he once likened his work to his personal diary, and Martin mentioning that his previous and the starting point in his career with the pictures, that they were much heavier and kind of moody. You can really see the shift and how this photography thing for him was really therapeutic, because as you can see with the progress in his work, he's kind of healing inside, and that's what you can see in those pictures, because they are much lighter. He's getting in touch with the symbolically healthier in himself, with the peace in him. He's finding the ground again, which kind of he's depicting in the animals coming to him, etc. So I think that's really lovely to see in his work, how it really works as his personal diary. Really, if you list through the portfolio, you can read it from the beginning. It's I love that. I think that's amazing in his work.
That's what would I say if I could say.
That's why she's your assistant.
I have to say he feels the frustration, because this is exactly how he can say it in Czech. So apologies to everyone, but that's why I stepped in. I just want you to know that's a really important point. So
that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you, Michaela. Of course.
The one with Fox, basically that's the same series. It was taken in Slovakia. I was born here in Czech Republic, and I find all those places what I want to capture in my photos. Every single place was was taken here in Czech Republic or Slovakia, which is the country next to the Czech Republic. So this one was taken in Slovakia, and behind her you can see Vysoké Tatry, which is the highest mountains there. We don't have these high mountains, so that's just information behind.
Just beautiful scenery, beautiful mountains, absolutely amazing nature there, really beautiful. And that is actually a real life fox. That is a question we get a lot.
I'm sure.
That's actually a girl holding a real life fox, and that was a really interesting experience as well, right?
Yeah. I remember.
What is really interesting is, people, with Photoshop these days and the post-production, people always have like this impression that there's a lot of composite. Basically, we'll find out later because you're going to show us behind the scenes and things like that. But a lot of the composites are just basically the animals or the people within animals in the background, and that's it. And everything else is as is, correct?
For example, the fox and the small deer, all those animals are or were able to stay next to the humans.
Yeah.
That was quite easy. But for example, the white deer and this kind of more wild animals, it was much more difficult to take a photo of them with humans. So I decided to take a photo of the animal first, and then a human, and then, for example, combine it. Right.
Understood.
So
Understood.
I will show you later. Yeah. Which one. Here's there are another one photos from the series I Found the Silence, where I worked with the topic of water, because as I mentioned before, I lost someone in a sea. He died because he drowned.
Yeah.
Drowned. So maybe that was the theme of Ophelia. That's that's the same idea. So sometimes you can create the artwork, and then you realize that it is still connected with your experience you had before. So there you can see the topic of water, and someone is lying on the surface. So, but still, for me, it's nothing about a dark mood or this way. I always say it's really about balance, about calm, hope. I think that there's nothing like dead people or so. It's more about if you can imagine the moment
about peace, right? Basically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to show a couple because I know that we have so much to cover, but since we are talking about the same series, you have the backstage and then the actual photo.
Yeah.
And then this photo actually received a national award. So if you wanted to say something about this photo in particular.
Yeah, this one was shot in 2017. It was in January. It was freezing, so much freezing. It was really cold moment, but I found I was inspired by a scene in a movie from a movie called A Single Man. Colin Firth and Julianne Moore, I think, the actors. And the movie begins with a scene when there are two guys, and one had a car crash, and the other one came to him and just observing or exploring what happened. So I remember the beginning of this movie, and I was absolutely blown away by this scene. And basically, it's about losing someone. So I think that it was the biggest inspiration for me for this image. So, but I didn't want to create this kind of heavy scene. So I wanted to capture it with the animal, because I was taking photos with animals, and I was thinking like, okay, it could be much better in a symbolic way again, because the animal here, the white deer, should be the symbol of incoming help or something, So yeah, and it was awarded by
bravo.
a big award.
Here's like another one in front. This is New York City, right?
Honestly, no, it's Prague.
Oh, we were trying to figure out where it was.
But you are right, because quite a lot of art collectors always say, you know which one the deers in New York City, and I was it's Prague.
It's
So
Prague.
you're not the
Okay.
first one who say that.
So I'm embarrassed to see that Prague has McDonald's as well.
We have it. Unfortunately, we have
I'm
it.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So this one was this shot was taken here in Prague, and exactly this place is, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes from my home. So it is the place where I go basically every single day. So I was going there with the headphones on my head, listening music, and all the time when I was passing this
Crossroad.
this crossroad, I was thinking like, what would it like if the nature came back to the city? Because I was the one who always escaped to the nature, as you could see in previous images, when the guy is holding the deer, or the guy sitting on the floor and the deer next to him. So it was the moment when I escaped to the nature. This one is the opposite. So the nature came back to the city for me. So it's kind of.
And Martin actually risked life for this photo, because those cars in the background, they are real, and they were really kind of just about to charge. So.
Okay.
So this one is the back behind the scene for this photo right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Basically, it's the quite similar topic about crashed machine, or because it's a symbolism for me of humanity. So I always tried to grab this kind of symbol and put it into the nature as the contrast between nature and our consume life.
Consumation. This is interesting, because in this particular picture, I do see kind of like the failing civilization and the strength of nature. You know, like the animals are strong, and the technology, the human, the humanity is kind of like diminished by this failing, engine. So it's That's
I can say that the more I love technology, I really love it, the more I'm afraid that it can be something with what can destroy us. So
I mean, no matter what we as humans create, there's no denying the power of Mother Nature and her creation. There's no comparing that or competing with that. I think that there's always going to be the upper hand.
Yeah, I mean, the animals are definitely strong in there. So this one here, we have this in a very large scale also in our exhibition. And it is, I have to say, the detailing of this is just absolutely incredible. So when you see the photo in person, it's incredible. So
yeah, it's called Circle of Life. I think that the title is quite easy to understand what's going on here. So again, it's nothing about a dead body laying in the grass or in flowers. It's more about circles in circle of life. Yeah, it is true. It's about birth and death, but in my way of thinking, it's more poetic. It's more about good circles that we are still going around. So
yeah, it's beautiful, and I love the cosmonaut hat and this picture. Obviously, it's a big hit. Everybody absolutely loves this picture. So
this one was, let's say, game changer, if I can say that. It was taken again in January. I don't know why, but I was always capture the best and the most difficult one in January, when it was so cold outside, and it is my partner inside the suit, and the idea was quite simple. It's called Dreamers and Warriors, and I always tend to be a warrior in terms of human rights, human ideas, dreams that you are chasing, you know. So quite simply idea, but it was really hard to capture this moment, because I spent 3 days there to trying to capture the perfect moment with the birds, which I was
luring.
So
He was
this is not a
luring
composite?
them in with food, kind of really trying to get them to come in for the food, for the seeds. So, and it was easy in the wintertime.
Is this not a composite? The birds are actually there, or did you photograph the birds separately?
Yeah, it is combined with 2 pictures.
Okay.
Because I had to set my camera in a differently than the shot of the astronaut. So
Yeah, I understand.
There are two pictures.
And here's you in your glorious outfit, winning a prize for the Sony World Photography Award.
Yeah, the photo was awarded as a first place in creative category. So we went to London. It was amazing experience. Wonderful. I didn't expect it. I was like, okay, let's take the prize. And when I saw all the event, it was huge. So it was before pandemic. So
yeah, nice. Congratulations on this. This one here also is one of the highlights of our exhibition. People absolutely are drawn to this photo, and it's good to see the behind the scene right here, because people don't think that it is a set. They think this is, again, you know, like a composite, but it's not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. People ask me like, it must be so difficult to create all those flowers in Photoshop, and I was like,
no.
Stop thinking about Photoshop in every single moment. It was really set and built manually. So yeah, it's called escapist. For me, it was again it was the picture how to explain what escape means for me. It's like when you put the mask on your face, you can escape into your fantasies, into different world, which should present the mask with flowers. So
well, yeah, exactly. This is not a scary mask. It's a mask that is wonderful, and you know, you're gonna have good dreams instead of bad dreams with this one.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
One of my favorites, this one.
And this one here, same. People were like not thinking this would be a set, but this showcases how much.
Yeah.
This
one was at this time when we shot this image. It was one of the most difficult photo. It was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And we had to bring the American Buick car from US, USA here to Prague. We had to land the stone quarry. So I had the behind the scene video, but I deleted it because it is quite long. People can find it on my website. There is a backstage video regarding this photo, but it took maybe 4 or 5 hours to build those flowers. And the idea behind this photo is, for me, again, it's quite simply, but it's about escaping from the city to the nature. And the flowers should represent moment when you can be yourself somewhere else, because you know, it's something like when you in your daily life, we all are like actors. We act like and behave like what people expect from us. Yes. And this photo should be like that. You can go somewhere where is nobody, and you can be yourself. That's all. And the flowers should represent this kind of moment.
Yeah, nice. So I'm going to go a little bit faster because I know we have a lot to cover. This is also no problem. A very, very lovely picture. So of course the bear was there with the plane, right? So everything is like there.
Exactly, we staged that.
Perfect moment. Perfect moment.
Yeah.
And then this one also is amazing, like the beautiful capture of those horses.
It's combination of you know, it's still about connection with the nature. This represents the freedom, you know, in so many ways. So
and the human takes part of this freedom run basically in this particular one, you know, like the human is going along with the flow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, this is your new project, so we are very excited to hear about it, and it's quite beautiful.
I think it is much more different, as you can see, than the previous series. This whole series was my topic so long in my mind, but because last year when the pandemic started, there was so much, I can see, free time, or because every single exhibitions were closed, so I had a time to focus on a new project, which is this one, Boyhood, and it should be exploring my youth, trying to explore connection between humans, like relationships, in a good way, in a trying to find myself through isolation, loneliness again, but in a good way. Basically, it's quite similar topic like before, but right now it's not connection between humans and nature, but right now it's about human and human. So it's about more about relationships that we
there's
are
there's a great thread in your whole work, but especially now that you've explained it very well, is, you know, your connection with nature, connection with animals, and then your connections with humans. Now you're coming full circle to understand how your connection within interconnection within humans makes sense to you.
Yes,
so this is really interesting.
Exactly.
I can say that I'm still searching for the answers. Yeah, what we are doing
we
here.
We all are.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
What is also interesting about this new project is that usually Martin takes quite his time before he kind of brings an idea to life. And since we had this much time, he actually created this project within 1 year. And there's about 12 or 14 photos. We are opening a new exhibition in Prague's Manes in a couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about. And this project is going to be firstly published there. And we're very excited about it because it's really you know, new thing in his portfolio.
I mean, what I can say is in terms of the lighting, in terms of the colors and everything, there's definitely that Stranka signature, you know, even though you're exploring a completely new subject, but it is the staging, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Anything you wanted to say in this particular photo, or should I move forward to another one?
I'm just thinking about inspiration, and sometimes when I'm thinking when I am looking for the inspiration, I remember the moment a few years ago when I found Edvard Hopper, the painter.
Yes,
and
that's right.
He was so connected to loneliness and moments being alone. So that's still the topic.
Yeah, I mean, the humans seem to be transfixed. They you know, like they're like statuesque, you know, in those images.
Before I was trying to capture as many photos as I could, and then combine it together to make the final result. Right now, the workflow or the work process is absolutely different. Basically, there is no montage yet. That's it.
Yeah.
So right now we have to build the setup with every single details, and so it takes much longer to create the scene, and you know, in a production way. But
it pretty much resembles a small movie production, because
it's very cinematic.
We have to scout the place, scout the models, get the equipment, the lighting and everything. And then obviously Martin kind of took the different approach and is exploring the different approach by actually creating the scene into every last detail, as you could see in the kind of interior photos, where you can see the lingerie hanging from the drawer and etc. So we stage everything up to the last detail, and then the photo is taken on one shot, and there's pretty much no post-production involved in this. So that's a different approach in Martin's creation process, and it's something that he enjoys right now. We're kind of going in that direction, and it's just kind of a lot of fun.
So there's a little behind the scene video right there, right after this image, that we can play.
So this was it is the last photo from the series Boyhood. I don't mean like it's the last one and it won't be continued. But right now, because we are preparing exhibitions, you know, so it was set in Prague, which is a huge national forest here in the Czech Republic, and this was the first time when I hired guys from film industry, because we wanted to create a movie scene, as you could see before in previous photo. So I asked guys from film industry to help us, as we will see a little bit later. For example, for this image, I decided to buy a car in Italy, because I was looking for exact type of car, and so I bought a car and brought it into the forest. There were around, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 people on the set, so it was a huge set. There are so many people involved here who works in a film industry, so it is always, well, I realized how good it is when you can, as an artist, when you can focus on a scene, and then just let people know what they should do. What's your idea? What's your purpose?
What basically Martin, with this kind of production, he just dedicates people their role. So people who have the lighting do the lighting, then there's special effects people, then there's technical support, and what he enjoys is just being in himself, taking the time to kind of absorb the moment, trying to get the emotion out of the set, and basically hunting for that perfect moment and the perfect shot, and having this big crew and support that allows him to do that.
Absolutely amazing, beautiful production. I mean, you're going on a grander scale now. This is like taking it to the next level. The
bigger the scene is, the more difficult it is.
Right.
So in terms of lights, obviously. So
And the imagery is beautiful. I mean, it's right there. You have everything, the smoke and the lighting, and those enormous lights that you're using are just incredible. And here are some of this is the way you produce your prints again. Very high end and beautifully printed.
I just prepared this part of presentation called prints because I didn't know how many people could be interested in this stage of photography. Because when when we are working on a photo, it's the first stage. Then we take a photo, that's another one, and then it's about technical things like printing, mounting, framing, so it's more technical. This is from your gallery, right?
This one is, from the Snap space.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show it's still
craftsmanship.
Yeah.
The craftsmanship, absolutely. And then of course, if people cannot see it, this is the way it would look in your homes once you have it, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is a wonderful presentation.
It's really lovely because we receive many pictures and documentation from our collectors that purchase and invest in Martin's art, and it is always so lovely to see the next journey of the image and where it ends up, and it really takes up a whole new life, and it's just lovely to have the opportunity to see.
It's wonderful. So the collectors themselves sometimes share the pictures of the.
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible.
We try to force them to make the best picture as they can.
That is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful. Because I think that's the final stage for every single photo I can create. So for me, it's like a moment when the circles are closed, or
full circle.
First, first full circle. That's what I mean.
And then, of course, this is kind of like when we started a little bit earlier, but that's some of the images that we had in our exhibition back in Snap Space.
That's from,
And then this is, I want to share this because this is absolutely amazing. This is when you had the exhibition just before COVID, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, this one should be the biggest one because I decided to create the biggest exhibition here in Prague after, I don't know, maybe 100 exhibition abroad. So we decided to make the exhibition here in Prague, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic situation, we were closed after 10 days. But it was amazing, incredible experience to have it here. Yeah, I just wanted to show people how would it look if we could come to America, because we wanted to go there to your gallery, to Snap Orlando gallery.
No, we missed you, unfortunately. Yeah.
COVID again. So, but this is how it would look like if we could be there. But yeah, maybe next time.
Next time, when we are all like in a better place, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Amazing.
So many medias. We had, I don't know, over 600 people during opening events. So it was huge. We were everywhere, basically.
I know, this is so good to see. This is like the way it used to be,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
It was the first week when COVID started. Yeah, the March 2020. So
that's beautiful.
Time before.
I know we have a couple more slides. We're gonna go briefly because I want to make sure that people can
we are finishing. Yeah,
have the questions. So obviously this is you in front, and here's really wonderful things. If you could just briefly say, like somebody painted your photo, right?
Yeah. There are, I think, last 3 slides, and the idea is quite simple for me, because we were talking about process, we were talking about awards, exhibition, technical stuff, and I always say after 15 years of my career as a photographer, I found out that the most important thing in art is the moment when you realize that you can inspire someone else. So there's a few slides where you can see how people were affected by my art or by my artwork. Yeah. So tattoo artists, and there's a guy who created a diorama. It's called that's the small statue. And I can say there's a letter. I remember the moment it was like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I got this letter from Natalie, and she lived in Israel, and at this time when she was writing the letter, there you can see that she describes that the Israel was in a war. She was a fan of my work. She was a, let's say, photographer, maybe amateur, but it doesn't matter. It was about feelings. Like she said in this letter, when she's going through my artwork, she feels safe. She feels like that my artworks or art can help her. So that was the moment I realized how art can be powerful, basically.
That's
so
incredible.
That's very moving.
That was the moment I realized that it's worth it.
Bravo, Martin. Thank you so much. So listen, I'm excited to have a little bit of interaction with everybody. I'm sure there's a lot of questions that people want to have answers. So I'm going to bring in Alexis. Hello, Alexis. So what do you see online?
Yeah, so we have a couple questions. In one of your earlier photos featuring the young man walking towards the camera, how did you get the whirlwind of debris to show up?
Yeah, it's a technical thing. It was like he was standing on the road, and then just we are throwing all those small wood pieces around him, and then just trying to capture the best moment. It was quite simple. Yeah.
So it was live. It wasn't added.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the photo called "Dreamers and Warriors," the pilot with the birds around his head, and I remember the moment when I had the idea of this scene before we went to the set, and I remember the moment when he was breathing inside the helmet and the water drops appeared inside. So it was something like I didn't expect it, I didn't plan it, but it was there. So in this exact photo, it wasn't meant to be there, but it appeared there, and
kind of spontaneous.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it showed alive inside the helmet because you can't see the person inside. But when you look closer, when you have a huge print, you can see the water drops from the breath.
From the breath.
Yeah.
You can also see the face a little bit. You could actually tell that there's someone in there.
So
especially
sometimes
on a very large scale. It's really incredible.
All the details.
Yeah. Sometimes you can plan all details. And I've got one thing, the photo of the car and the flowers in a set in a stone quarry.
Talk about the rain.
Yeah, I'm talking about the rain because when we were building the whole set, everything went good, but during this process it started raining. So I was like, okay, everything is destroyed and it won't be useful anymore. But at the end, all those small drops on the car made amazing details again when you print it in a huge scale. So yeah, so sometimes you can plan it, sometimes it's like unpredictable. Unpredictable, yeah.
We love those happy accidents.
Yeah, absolutely. You can plan 90%, but nature, and when you take photos outdoor, you can't plan everything. So sometimes it's.
And kind of building on that too, we had another question. Someone was wondering if the fox was really that calm during the shoot, knowing that you're actually holding the fox. It's incredible.
Yeah. The fox was calm because the fox was saved by Miss Livat.
The rescue?
Arrestor, a guy, a man. Simply a man.
A man who worked in forest, and he saved the fox. So and he had the fox as a, I can say pet, but still it was quite wild, but it was able to hold it, because he saved the fox.
It was tamed a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you could still tell that the proximity of another human being is not the biggest comfort to the creature. He was still kind of, wanting his space, but he was kind of all right with that, and it worked. The photo shoot worked. It was amazing to touch a fox. It was just incredible experience.
Yeah, you definitely pulled it off in the photo. He seems super calm. And also with that, we had another question asking, how do you go about scouting locations for your shoots? Because they're always so beautiful, but they seem very intentional. So how do you select where your photos are going to be?
Yeah, honestly, we spend, it's not hours, maybe it's not days, it's about weeks and weeks looking for the right spot. So sometimes it's like when you are going outside, walking around just with friends, and you can find the spot. Well, okay, just take a snap photo on your phone, and then come back to explore it more. But for example, the last photo with the backstage movie, the car and the four guys next to the car, it was weeks and weeks looking for the locations. Yeah, sometimes it's a day, sometimes, and more it's about weeks and weeks looking for the right place.
And sometimes I go out for a holiday with my family, and instead of taking photos of my kids, I take photos of the scenery, because I think, oh, that's amazing. I just love that. I have to show this to Martin.
And they are like, Mama, stop working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes they just, like, you see a scene and you're like, I need to do a photo here. And sometimes it's the reverse of trying to craft the image, what you already see.
True. Sometimes places can be absolutely massive inspiration. Sometimes you don't have an exact idea of space or place, what you are looking for, and you can find a place and then just, wow, okay,
It clicks.
It can be it can inspire myself. I mean, when the place location can inspire me.
Sometimes the place inspires you to actually give you an idea of what you want to create, rather than you have an idea and then finding the locations.
Absolutely. You've probably been to a lot of great nature trails and seen lots of beautiful places with all that. We had another question. They asked, in your piece, I Found the Silence, the light is nuanced and luminescent. How did you come to be inspired by this nature of light?
Martin wasn't really thinking about the technical side of things, for example, like the lighting, etc. He was trying to actually just achieve a certain feeling, and I think he just went intuitively with setting the lights. And I think the consideration of the technical point of view kind of comes a little bit later on with the later pieces, where he really constructs the lighting. But I don't know if you can say anything more to this with this picture, because how many lights were there to kind of create it?
Well, I think what you say is basically the essence of the image was not the technical side. It was really kind of like the inspiration of it.
The feeling until it felt right.
Alexis, are there many more questions or just a couple more?
We have two more.
Okay, let's go for those. Yeah.
So I guess one really quick question is, do you have a favorite photographer? You mentioned a couple artists and movies that you were inspired by, but do you have a photographer?
Honestly, I have to say that I'm really inspired more by painters and movies and music. I don't know why, because I have never studied photography, I have to say. So I was never, I have never been under the pressure of list of photographers I should look at. But photographer, Erwin Olaf. Yeah, Erwin Olaf is one of my favorite.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I love you almost translate all the other mediums into our digital photography world today. So they don't even look like pictures. It's crazy.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's quite that's nice idea, because when we were here in Prague before they closed, because before we had to close the exhibition here in Prague, the visitors asked us, like, is it photograph or is it painting? So I don't know why. I have, as I said, I've never studied photography, so I was always be like a self-taught photographer. So I developed in terms of technique the kind of style which looks like
Help you
painting.
make your own. So that's awesome. And our last question is, with nature being such a big influence, they wonder if when you're alone in nature, do you feel like you're participating in nature or witnessing nature? Do you have an active role, or are you just an onlooker?
Great question.
That's really nice question. I have to say, I feel like I'm one of a tree there. I feel like I'm a part of
You're part of the cycle.
Maybe I feel like I am nature, because we are all nature. We say that we are humans, but still we are the mother nature is still the creator. Yeah. So I feel part of the nature.
I think that's a fantastic way to end this beautiful conversation. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want to thank you, Alexis, for bringing all these questions.
Absolutely.
And thank everybody who participated. And of course, a big thank you to Martin and Michaela.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed it.
And so nice. I think everybody enjoyed it. I can see the comments. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Yes. Yes, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the shout outs. I was kind of just looking through them during the presentation. So saying hi to everyone. Thank you for
very inspiring. And a big thanks. Again, I want to say to everyone, please come and see the show. We have it in another 2 weeks until October 2nd. We are open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. And of course, make sure, as you see in the beautiful presentation by Martin, go ahead and collect it, put it in your home, take a picture, send it to us so that Martin can see his art in your environment.
Exactly. Thank you.
Perfect.
So everyone, have a great rest of the day. Have a nice evening, Martin and Michaela.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch very soon.
Thank you so much. We enjoyed it so much. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.